The turbulent 60s and 70s ushered in a new wave of storylines for daytime soap operas that didn't flinch at taking on controversial subjects. And Agnes Nixon's new brands, All My Children and One Life to Live, were primed and ready to step into the cultural fray to deliver socially relevant stories to the rapidly expanding daytime audience.
She talked about abortion when no one would talk about abortion on television. She went through civil rights, the Vietnam War.
Anti-Vietnam War protests mixed with some of the silliest, goofiest, most delightful comedy ever.
It wasn't just storytelling, it was actually educational.
And she found Susan Lucci, who was so representative of what the public wanted at that point. They wanted youth. They wanted somebody dreaming, striving, willing to do anything to get what they want in this world. So Agnes had all that figured out, and the public adored her stuff.
I will tell you from the beginning, as I said, even from my audition scene, I knew that whoever wrote this, and it turned out to be Agnes Nixon, was brilliant, and she continued to be throughout the whole time that I got to work with her material at All My Children. So I recognized that that show should be taken seriously, that Agnes held up the mirror to our culture and shined a light on the human condition in a really ingenious way.
Agnes Nixon, I think, is probably, to me at the time, was the great innovator. I mean, she brought things like, young women who got pregnant, young women who were gay, the AIDS thing, and all kinds of interesting social issues which were theretofore taboo.
And she really broke new ground in 1972 with Erica. And I think the combination of Susan Lucci and Agnes Nixon together creating this bigger-than-life Erica Kane was monumental at the time when the Gloria Steinems were walking around with signs. Erica was showing everyone that at 17 years old, you can be your own person.
I never know where she is. Sometimes she goes 4 or 5 places in one evening.
Well, you gotta go where the action is, Mona. Isn't that right, Erica?
When there is any. I mean, Pine Valley isn't exactly the corner of Hollywood and Vine.
Storylines came out of relationships and different characters' legitimate points of view, so that all points of view could be presented to an audience. She's brilliant.
During the 60s and 70s, as Americans took to the streets in support of civil rights, Agnes Nixon and her team of writers, producers, and actors brought social awareness to the airwaves of daytime television.
One Life to Live did its business back in the day. I mean, they were really responsible for bringing a racially diverse cast to the airwaves on ABC. Ellen Holly, in 1968, was the very first African-American to perform on a soap opera. And dig it, she was writing on that show as well. They trusted her so much that they let her write her own storyline.
In the early years of soaps, the depth of creative talent producing daytime programming across all 3 networks was impressive.
Our next award is very special indeed. The National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Trustees Award. Special recognition for achievement in television which is so outstanding and extraordinary that it's beyond our usual categories. To present the Trustees Award, a very special individual, Barbara Walters.
Because of its special nature, the Academy's Trustees Award isn't presented every year. It's only awarded for an achievement of outstanding merit. And some of the previous winners are General David Sarnoff, William Paley, Leonard Goldenson, Edward R. Murrow, so you can see the kind of award it is. Today marks a number of firsts for this prestigious award. It is the first time it has been presented to someone in the daytime area. It is the first time it has been presented to a writer, and it is the first time in the history of this award that it's been presented to a woman. I feel like saying with all of you, right on. The recipient today is the creator of One Life to Live and All My Children, and the co-creator of Search for Tomorrow and As the World Turns. And by now you know I can only be talking about Agnes Nixon. Just at the mention of Agnes's name, but there's more that we want to say with her, so I will say it holding on to her hand at this really very exciting award. Agnes Nixon is the most prolific talent the daytime television drama has ever known, and she is the most successful. You just listen to this remarkable achievement. Agnes Nixon has had a show on the air every week. I don't know how you do it. 52 weeks a year for the past 30 years. And every show she has ever been involved with is still running. Today, she has never had a failure. And when
Aggie, this is your little cousin. I'll refresh your memory. You cut up all your paper dolls. That pulled the plug on the lamp the night you had the dance. I've never told you this before because you told me at the time that if you found out it was me, that you were going to beat the hell out of me. So until this day, I've never ever mentioned it again. You know how I love to do this sort of stuff. Miriam promised Mary that I would do this. There's only two people in this world that I'm afraid of, and that's you and Mary. And so as a result, here I am.
Hold your head up.
What's that?
Hold your head up.
And then Mary's behind me telling me where to put my head. But then I wish you well. I hope you're having a good day. And I would be there in person except for my... I'm very unassured in my flying situation, so I'll catch up with you later. Good luck. Goodbye.
You love her.
Huh?
Love her. You love her.
Oh, put it back on. Oh, yeah, by the way, I still love you.
Hi, Aggie. It's Chris Lawford from Hawaii, as you can tell from my very colorful shirt. I wanted to wish you the best and congratulations on this honor, you and Mary. I want to thank you and tell everybody there what an amazing friend you've been to me, both as an actor and as an advocate. Your support for the Global Recovery Initiative in its infancy was instrumental in getting it going. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for your commitment to this issue. And thank you for being such a great friend. Much love.
Agnes Nixon, has been my role model since the first time I laid eyes on her. And the first time I laid eyes on her was at my callback audition for the part of Erica Kane on All My Children. The producer was talking to me, and suddenly I caught sight of something out of the corner of my eye. And I turned, and I saw a flash. I saw this flash go by down the hall. And that flash was a beautiful, petite, blonde woman in a cappuccino color Yves Saint Laurent pantsuit with a cappuccino color skin bag with her, running in high heels as fast as she could. And I didn't say anything, but my eyes must have just widened and looked so impressed. And our producer at the time said to me, "Do you know who that is?" And I said, "No, I have no idea." And he said, "That's Agnes Nixon." Well, I knew that this fabulous audition script I had read was written by someone spectacular and smart with a great sense of humor and a great eye on what life was all about between a 15-year-old Erica Kane and her mother Mona Kane. But I had no idea what to expect as to how that woman would look. And there she was. There was Agnes Nixon. And as I said, I was so impressed. It was the first time that I had ever seen a modern woman in motion, working at her craft, at her art, at her chosen career, and also looking so great. She had such style. Well, in a nutshell, Agnes was everything I had dreamed of being when I grew up. And there I was at my audition, and I knew I was in amazing hands with whoever that fabulous woman and writer was. I got the part. Happy for me, lucky for me, I got that part of Erica Kane, and not long after that, I was asked to do an appearance, a personal appearance, and I was going to be doing it with Agnes Nixon. And then I discovered that Agnes had this beautiful home, and she had made it a home, and she was raising her 4 children while she was having her career. And my goodness, at that point, Agnes Nixon became my role model for the rest of my life, because that was everything I hoped to be able to do. Agnes Nixon has always been known as the youngest voice in the room. That's who she was then. That's who she is now. She was an inspiration then, and she's an inspiration now. She was relevant then, and she is relevant now. I'm so proud to call Agnes Nixon my friend. I am so lucky to have worked with Agnes to get that wonderful part that she entrusted to my hands, Erica Kane, on the wonderful All My Children. Agnes, congratulations. You deserve every honor there is. You've earned it, you deserve it, and I'm so proud to call you my friend, as well as my role model.
Hi, Agnes. Tom Murphy's done some great things for me in my life, but the best of all was when he arranged to have me sit next to you at the 1986 Winter Olympics. I had a great time that evening, and I've had a great time every time I've seen you since. And of course, the big moment in my life was when you cast me as the bartender in Loving, and you had the good sense not to give me a speaking role initially, but we were a great pair together. And I mean, I'm still getting compliments on our appearance in that episode, and then later I graduated to a speaking role, but it was enjoyable working with Susan Lucci, but it was nothing like working with you. So it's good to be with you even in this remote way tonight, and you're still my favorite.